Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and to a new and improved World of Warcraft Beginner's Guide video. I recently went back and realized that my first set of beginner guide videos on the channel were made over 7 years ago. It is definitely time for some updates. Whether you're an absolutely brand new player, someone that's been playing for a while and just needs a little refresher, or you're coming back to the game after a long break, my goal is to get you up to speed with an easy to follow format. In this video, we'll be going over some basic topics that you'll need to know to get started. Realms, factions, races, classes, warbands, and finally we'll talk about the new player starting zone, Exile's Reach. First up, realms. When you start WoW for the first time, you'll be greeted with the option for character creation. Before you do that, however, click this back button here and navigate to the top of the screen to the Realms section. Realms are basically the servers on which your characters will live and where you can interact with other players who are also on that same server. This used to matter more back in the day so that you could make sure that you were on the same server as your friends. But nowadays, there's cross-realm play, so you can kind of just create a character wherever you'd like. You can join any of these realms that are meant for new players if you want, but scroll through the list and find one that you think would be best for you. There are low, medium, and high population servers, and even servers that say full. Don't worry though, you'll still be able to create characters on full population servers. Full just means that you might experience a queue to log in from time to time, especially if there's a new expansion launch. I've personally been on Moonguard for years and never experienced a queue. Most all servers are normal servers now with RP or roleplay servers sprinkled in. Blizzard removed PvP-only servers sometime around Battle for Azeroth. But if none of this really matters to you, you can just keep whatever realm the game automatically selected for you. Now that you have your realm all sorted out, it's time to get into creating your character. You'll notice you have two sides to choose from, the Alliance or the Horde. Again, kind of like realms, this choice used to matter quite a bit, as if you created an Alliance character and your friend created a Horde character, you wouldn't be able to play together. But this has also changed, and Alliance and Horde can now group up, do dungeons, raids, and other group content together. Don't think about going to hang out at the opposite faction's major cities though, you aren't that buddy-buddy yet. Some players are super dedicated to their faction, only ever playing one side, but you can play both Horde and Alliance if you want. It's great to experience the game from both sides. There are 6 core races for both Horde and the Alliance. These are your humans, dwarves, night elves, gnomes, Draenei, and worgen for the Alliance. The core races for the Horde are orcs, undead, tauren, trolls, blood elves, and goblins. Pandaren and Drakthir are considered neutral races and can be played by both factions. The last type of race in WoW are your allied races. These will most likely be grayed out for you as a new player, as they require unlocking before you're able to play them. There used to be some complexities revolving around unlocking these allied races, but they've definitely scaled those back, and as you can see, they're pretty simple to unlock now. So simple that I'm actually ashamed I haven't unlocked the High Mountain Tauren. For your character's race, you can make your choice solely on aesthetics, or if you like their racial traits. Or, most important, what class you're looking to play, as not every race can play every class. If you notice here, as a night elf, I'm unable to choose Paladin or Evoker as a class, but I can be a Druid or a Demon Hunter. If I choose Dwarf, I can then be a Paladin, but I can't be a Druid. So keep those in mind as you're scrolling through the different races and deciding what to choose. You'll have 3 different types of roles you can choose from as well: Tank, DPS, or Healer. If you want to take the brunt of all the damage and have the enemies focus their attacks on you, you might want to be a tank. Think Warrior or Paladin, but some other classes can have tank specializations like Druids or Death Knights. Maybe you'd rather focus on damage dealing in the form of ranged attacks or spells, or up close and personal melee attacks. Then look at your Hunter, Rogue, or Mage classes. And finally, if healing is your jam, saving your allies from total annihilation, think of creating a Priest or Druid. Again, some other class specializations offer the ability for healing, like shamans or monks. Hovering over the different classes can give you a little bit of an insight as to what to expect when making your choice. I will be creating separate basic overviews of the classes and their specializations in a later video. Now it's time to click the Customize button. You'll have the option at the top to choose your name. This name has to be unique to whatever realm you're playing on. If the name you want is not available, it will be indicated by this little red X. You can choose different spellings or click the dice to randomize a name until you get the green check mark, and then you know you're good to go. There are tons of different character customizations that you can choose from depending on what race you've chosen. Some races have more customizations than others. Navigate through the options and get creative. After you've made the most beautiful character you've ever seen, you're almost ready to enter the World of Warcraft. But wait, if you've leveled through WoW before, you'll have the option of choosing where your character starts, the default starting zone for your race, or Exile's Reach, which is a new player starting zone designed to help you learn the very basics of the game and a little bit about your class. If you are a brand new player to WoW, it will automatically start you in Exile's Reach. We'll be selecting Exile's Reach for the purposes of this guide. Now click Enter World and get ready to start your adventures. Exile's Reach is a great zone even for those veteran players, as it's a quick level 1 through 10 zone to run through while leveling a new character. There's also some transmogs for weapons and armor that you might want to unlock, especially if you're a player that loves to collect everything. I'm not going to go through every single detail of Exile's Reach, as the game again does an excellent job at navigating you through how to play. But if you want something more in depth, please comment below and let me know. You'll start out with a short cinematic, and then you'll be aboard a ship with some basic tips on keyboard movement and how to use your mouse for camera movement. If you've gone through this a few times and are just looking to complete the zone quickly, you can turn off the tutorial mode by going into your options, look for gameplay, and click interface. Scroll down, uncheck the tutorials box, and you should be good to go. Sometimes this does reset itself when getting off the ship and onto the island, so if the tutorials pop up again, just disable them the same way. After you've completed Exile's Reach, you'll be transported to your faction's major city, Stormwind for Alliance and Orgrimmar for Horde. This is where I see a lot of new players get confused on what the next steps are. New players can finish up the tutorial quests and then head right on to Chromie to level through an expansion. More on Chromie time and leveling in Part 3. And for the last section of Part 1 of this beginner's guide, I want to touch a little bit about Warbands. I will be going into details about how they work for different areas of the game as we go through other parts of the beginner guides, but I at least want to give an overview on what they are. Warbands were introduced in the War Within expansion and is Blizzard's answer to account-wide progression. If you have multiple characters currently or will be leveling several characters during your journey throughout Azeroth, you will be able to have all progression shared across all characters on your account. There were many things throughout WoW's history that were character-specific that can now be shared across all characters on the account, like reputations for one. As a brand new player with only one character, this may not be as exciting to you as to someone who has been playing for a little longer. But as you continue to add more alts onto your account, you'll start to see the benefits. You'll see 4 of your favorite characters sitting around a campfire, and I see a lot of confusion with this, and if those characters that you see are the only ones eligible to be in your warband. They're not. All of your characters on your account are part of your warband. This includes both your Horde and Alliance characters. This is totally account-wide. The characters around the campfire are just your favorites, and they can be from any realm that you have characters on and can easily be switched out by just dragging and dropping from the list up into the favorites section. So that concludes part 1 of this revamped World of Warcraft beginner's guide. I really aim to make these and all of my videos directed towards a lot of the new players as well as casual players like myself. For me, it's all about learning things in layers, so if that is you too, I hope you stick around. I do have all of the other parts outlined and ready for editing, so my goal is to get all of these out in succession so that there isn't too much of a gap between each one. I'm so excited for you to start your journeys in Azeroth. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a thumbs up if you liked it and share it with your friends. You guys are awesome, and I will see you in the next video.